Well, good morning, Facebook. We're a little late starting. The beauty of small church. The beauty of small church is that when there's a need, we're able to just kind of stop what we're doing. We're praying for a friend this morning. And they're now going crazy in the front area, as we can hear. Making it hard for me to be heard online, but they can all hear you. Anyway, it's hard to believe that I'm hard to be heard. I was being drawn it out. Anyway, we're praying. I'd appreciate it. Anyone out there, his name is Nicky. Just remember Nicky in your prayers. Good guy. Having a very difficult health issue right now, so his name is Nicky. If you'd remember him today as you're praying. I know my wife would be certainly appreciative. She's known him since she was a teenager. Anyhow, welcome to the place. We're in person, we're online. Yes, we are an oasis for the weary. That's who we are. I can't get an amen? Okay. There we go, I got to ask for it. June 27th, 2021. No church next week, July 4th. I'll be gone, getting back about midnight or so. I'm helping Mark move to Reading. I was asking the board what they thought, and they were kind enough to realize that I am tired, and I'm going to be extra tired. So we're not going to have church, so we all kind of take it easy. Certainly me. So the question is, anybody want to go and see fireworks? My wife has a whole list of. She got it from her. What are they called? Title company. A list of all the places that they're having fireworks on the 4th. Oh, wow. So, I want to go to I haven't been to fireworks in years. Yeah, so I thought maybe instead of having church, maybe toward afternoon, evening, we could all go see fireworks. My truck will hold 6 people. So, I'd be happy to take 4. Sundays, July 4th, yeah. July 4th. So, if you're interested, maybe we could meet somewhere. Maybe we could go see fireworks together. Come on, people. Let's go do something.
Do it.
All right? So anyhow, I will be available via text message, via email, via phone, maybe even telepathically if you're really strong. Nah, that won't work. Anyhow, I thought maybe we could figure out something. I'll shoot a midweek, maybe a text message, or I'll post it on the place Facebook page. I'll have to text message a couple of you. I know, I'll have to text a couple of you. But that's okay, I'm willing to do it. So maybe we could figure out something to go do somewhere. Thought it might be fun. Anyhow, if you're around, let's see if that works. Bread, juice, hearts intertwined. Communion together at home. Today, again, we will have communion. All right, today's message. The Three Amigos. I'm going to start. I kind of came up with an idea this week. Something I want to speak about. We're in a post-pandemic situation. I know that COVID is still out and there's variants and there's this and this. And I also know that many people have very strong emotions about COVID, yay or nay. I get all that. But the reality is, for nearly 15 months, the human mind has been in lockdown. That's the truth. We've all been in a lockdown, either fighting it angrily, accepting it fearfully, somewhere in between, dealing with it. However, we've all been dealing with this thing, and we are post-pandemic. There's enough who have gotten vaccinated that it seems to have stemmed the tide. If you don't believe that, that's okay. However you believe. This is not a vaccine pro or for thing. This is about, I'm talking about life post-pandemic. So, the Three Amigos. Who can guess who the Three Amigos are? Come on. Biblical approach. Good answer, wrong direction. Father, Son, Holy Good. Biblical answer, wrong answer. At least for myself. Let's go. You guys aren't going to get this. It is friendship, character, and understanding.
How would we ever get that?
See, we're not telepathic. You know. It's not going to work for the fireworks. We're going to have to commute them. These are the thoughts that came to me this week, post-pandemic. These are three things that I have seen that have really struggled during the pandemic. These are three amigos: friendship, character. Anyone? What I'm here to do is to help us to look at it biblically speaking, and also to encourage us in the importance. That's why I called it the Three Amigos. I thought it was kind of a clever way to do it, because man, these are friends. These three hang out together. They are bros. Friendship, character, and understanding. It's just an amazing three elements that are vital for our mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. Mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. I want us to know that if we're struggling in a situation, in an area, there's so many ways that we can get help. Often it's just sitting down, having a cup of coffee. And the one who is struggling gets to speak. And the one who is there to listen drinks.
We talk good when drinking.
So you can't talk when you're drinking. And what we need as a society is this loving understanding of coming together and working through and reinvesting ourselves together. We are a disengaged society, and this last 15 months has really made us out on our islands. Man, we are island dwellers, all of us. That's kind of the idea of the picture. Okay? I actually put some thought into this. It's like, okay, I'm on my little island, leave me alone, I'm good. I'll come around when I need you. But yet what's happening is that you saw my wife this morning, how broken she was for this man that she's known for over 40 years. And Nikki's a character, I'll tell you. He's a character. To attempt, though feebly, to grow in each of these areas, though I lack in them, boy, I've grown a lot in all three because of being with someone like my wife, this solid individual, this individual who I'm able to understand and grow from. These three lead to a balanced life. Friendship, character, and understanding. Now, I'm not saying a perfect life. I'm saying a balanced life. So what happens if one of these gets out of balance? Okay? Your friendships are not part of it. They're something from the past. And you think about them, but they're not really strong. Or honestly, your character's got a little challenge going on. You know, you're not being quite the individual that you know you can be. Or perhaps your understanding is gone. I do not understand. I refuse to accept that. What do we do? What do we do to maintain balance? What is it that we can do to get us back into balance? I'm not saying about anybody being off or weird. What I'm saying is we know individually to ourselves. You look at these three words and you'll know, man, I'm doing good, especially compared to where I was. I'm doing good in all three. Or you know what? Maybe I am lacking a little bit in this area. Maybe there's something going on in my life that is challenging me and I'm losing in one of these situations. Today I want to talk about character. So I thought I'd bounce it out of order. Might even talk about it for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure. We'll kind of see, because I certainly can't cover everything today. But I'm going to kind of lay a little groundwork. How do you define character? There are many definitions for this word, but I'd like us to gravitate toward this definition. This definition, I took it from Merriam-Webster, so it's kind of snazzy. It's the aggregate of features and traits that form the individual nature of some person or thing. That's what character is. The aggregate of features. In other words, the conglomeration. Aggregate is like a conglomeration of features and traits that form your nature. How would you describe your character? How would you describe all these little bits and pieces of you that form your character? Are you pleased with it? Could it use a little polish? This is the point. Be honest with yourself. It's okay. Actually, some of the greatest character traits develop after failures. Some big failures. I have a story, a true story I'd like to share. This story got me on this entire thing. I read this story. It's only about 2.5 hours. We'll get through it real quick. It's a true story. So sit back, get yourself a cup of coffee. My turn to talk. But this story just really, boy, it struck a nerve, a good nerve. But it was very revealing. Here we go. Whenever I visited Ruth at the rest home, I'd always greet her with, "Good morning, sweetie." She, in turn, would say, "Hey, I've been missing you." For as long as I knew Ruth, she greeted me with, "I've been missing you," even if it just seen her that morning. And when I'd leave, it was always, "Come back." As if you need more of a reason to have friends, these facts prove that friends are healthy for us. Ruth was my first friend in South Carolina. Our house was built on her property. I went over and introduced myself one day, told her that I'm out every morning, and if she liked, I could bring her newspaper to her door. She said, "Well, I suppose that would be all right." It wasn't long after that I started bringing her the afternoon mail, cookies too. Soon I started taking her to the library, doctors, and the store. At the rest home, if Ruth's breakfast tray was ready, I'd pick it up. I knew how she liked her grits with just a bit of butter and salt. And she really, really liked orange juice and always got 2 glasses. After a bit, it would be time to go. She'd give me a kiss and tell me, "Come back." I'm ashamed to admit at one time both my grandmothers were in convalescent homes and I rarely visited them. I cannot change the person I was, but I can try to be a better person today. Ruth is no longer with us, but I wish to God that I could come back and visit her again. See, this story I think we can all relate to a little bit, right? We have these things where we're too busy in life, and it's not a character assassination. What this is a revealing a character trait in all of us. Taking that time to slow down, to just talk with a neighbor, with a friend, allowing them to speak into our lives. It's incredible how. And you might think it's important that you do it for the other person. I'm here to tell you today, it's important for you. It's important for you. I'm very blessed. Chris has moved into our guest house. I'm incredibly blessed. I see her a lot, and we just have this 2-minute conversation. And I just smile, and every time I talk to her, it takes me back to my childhood. It's because she's from the same town I'm from. It's the craziest story. You all know it. But she grew up in the same town I grew up in, which is Podunk, Illinois. But we'll talk, and it's just this little moment, and all these things, I go back to my childhood. I had these thoughts of my mom and my dad and growing up and the pool and Little League Baseball, and we don't talk about any of these things. But it's taking that time, this character, the character, I love taking that time to just have a friendly moment in time. Very, very fortunate. Age has a tendency to improve or cement the character we had when we were younger. For me, it's improving. Okay? Don't want to cement my younger character. Boy, I sure like looking at it though, because it pushes me a little bit to try to be a better character, though that other character shows up all too often. And you can leave now. Oh, but I like it here with you. You have loose lips. You're a little erratic. You're easy pickings. I know. Get away from me. I want to be this character guy. I want to be the one who's kind and caring and loving and understanding. And you're this character that says I'm busy and I'm at large and I'm in charge. And it's a struggle. It's a battle. I love it when the new guy wins. The development of character. as we get older, sometimes people get older and you just go, wow, you could use a little character polish. I'll go to the store and buy you a can if you like. But that's a difficult thing too. Have you ever noticed that when you're around people that are difficult characters, that when we react difficultly, it's bringing a character trait out in us that's no good? But when we can learn to be patient and understanding and kind and caring and getting through all that stuff. This is of those who are not strong and not just to please ourselves. Romans 15:1 Amplified. If you ever want to just like learn things, read the book of Romans over and over and over and over and over. And oh my goodness, Paul just, it's like everything is in there. And I love his others, but this Romans is just so full. We who are strong in our convictions. Now, to hold to the truth of the way I like to preach, I don't want to just grab a verse and have it make my point. This point that Paul is making is from chapter 14, where he's talking about the law of liberty, where we are free to do it. It's truly a law. It's the law of liberty. You can live in liberty. The question is, what do you do with the liberty you're living in? The liberty you have should draw you closer to Christ, should make you more kind and understanding, more loving, more like the image of Jesus Christ. Paul is reminding us this. Okay, so those who are strong in their faith, who are strong in their convictions, how are you treating others? Paul goes on to say in chapter 14, he calls that the law of love. And he's being critical of those who are strong in their faith, who are deriding people. He's talking about food that has been sacrificed to idols. We could change that however we want. But back in the day, food was often sacrificed to the idols and then sold in the store, and they would sacrifice it to the idols. Well, we all know idols don't eat, right? So we've sacrificed this meat to the dragon, right? And you can get it for $2.95 a pound. So that way they're getting both. And Christians, new believers, many of them, I can't possibly eat that. I can't go to a home of someone who has food where they've sacrificed it to God. And Paul is saying, listen, if you're strong in your faith, don't degrade somebody for their beliefs, but be patient. Be patient with them. Put up with their weaknesses. You don't have to prove yourself. Put up with their weaknesses. Learn to listen. Dan and I have had many conversations. Dan and I were both very good at, kind of being aggressive, battling our faith, our beliefs. And that's not a bad thing, but what it is, and I'll say this in love, it's an immature thing. And as we mature and we understand our convictions and we understand the faith that we have, not everyone has the same amount of faith or the depth of faith, but learning to listen and understand and then sharing your faith without it being so dogmatic and so, shall I say, angry. This is what a strong person does. This is true character in Christ. Example, himself. What did he do when he was attacked? He took it. He didn't defend himself. What did he do when he was out and about freely walking? He shared the love of God. See, strong believers, strong people in faith don't have to defend what they believe. What they can do is they can share what they believe, listen to the weaknesses of others. I love that, man. I just love that scene. Oh, my wife is doing such a good job with those little kids back there. Just love hearing them sing. So we who are strong, we who have the strength to know the difference, your character is on display. How are you doing? Man, I do well sometimes, and other times I think, well, Lord, I got to remember this verse. I am strong in my convictions. I'm very strong in my convictions. I always have been. And my faith has gone through the roof in these last few years. The knowing what God is going to do and capable of doing and is doing and has already done. All the things that faith is. Being patient. Oh, what a character thing. Let's work on that. And I don't mean work as in striving. I mean, like, you know, to work on it, you contemplate it. You rest in it. It's in there. It's like right in the middle. It's solo going on back there now. Character. Man, let's look at our character. We have such an opportunity now, post-pandemic. There is hurting people. They don't need to be hammered with the gospel. They need to be loved and understood and listened to. And when you're able to, as a believer in Jesus Christ, simply sit and listen to, let's patiently understand that they need someone who cares about them. And God is constantly working, constantly wooing, constantly drawing. And when they understand that you care more about them than you care about your convictions, they will want to know who you are and why you are that. We people have a time as characters in Jesus Christ to let that character, his character, shine in us. He went and met the woman at the well. What did he do? Did he tell her all about, No. He told her about her. He listened to her. He loved her. She went and got a whole town saved because she was enamored with this man who cared enough about her. Character. Great time to be alive. Strong character can easily have the opposite intended effect. While we may believe we are helping others to see the light of our insight, we may actually be pushing them away from it. How can strong character people get the point out without lives expressing his truth? Ooh, I love the Amplified. I've always shied away from the Amplified, but as a study Bible, it just comes alive. Speaking the truth in love isn't just words. It's your lives expressing his truth. Yeehaw. Let us grow up in all things to him, following his example, who is the head, Christ. Ephesians, another Paul epistle that knocks it out of the park. He was the man. Oh my goodness. A man who encountered the Father in the third heaven, came back to earth with a thorn in his side and said, I got some stuff I got to share. And boy, there's other stuff I can't share. I wish I could, but he won't let me. But boy, this is the stuff I got to share. Speaking the truth in love. You, strong character person. Me, strong character person. Strong opinionated person. How do I speak the truth in love? I live love. I express Christ's truth. Oh, what a character reality that is so beautiful. Okay. You'll have moments where you're not expressing quite as well as you should. It's okay. When you tell people, when you're able to admit, you know what, I was really a little bit out of line there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you. Sometimes I get caught up in my own self. I do have some garbage, blah, blah, blah. But when they see you and know your heart, they'll forgive your words. How are you living? How is that character in you living? Again, this in context, chapter 4, Paul is talking about the gifts of the Spirit. And he explains that these gifts are to help all of us. Speaking the truth in love, living the life. What gift are you good at? Your God-given gift. Read Ephesians 4. It's a wonderful place to get it. I believe it's also Romans 12. Is it Romans 12? They have a list of the gifts. Corinthians 12. You're right. 1 Corinthians 12. Thank you. Had Romans on my mind. 1 Corinthians 12 is another place where it has the gifts. What are your gifts? Spend some time. Do some reflection. It's beautiful homework. It is homework that will strengthen your character. God has given me this gift. I can see it in my life. Talk to a spouse or a friend. Reveal who you are. Allow that character trait to speak the truth in life. Model it. Are you a giver? Are you a prophesier? Are you a leader? Are you an encourager? Do you exhort? Do you help? Well, there's so many gifts. Teach. It's a beautiful thing. And use it and allow that to grow in you. You'll feel better. I know I've mentioned this before, but I still just shock myself. I've been on this new dietary plan. I've lost, a small human has left me. And I see the children come in here, and I've lost more than they weigh. But I feel good. See, that's my point. The point here is you find out who you are, and you allow this character to go, you'll start feeling good. I was feeling bad eating too much, eating the wrong stuff. And now I still have a little bit of the fun stuff, but I eat better and I eat less, and I feel great. See, this is the reality of life. When we overdo a bad thing, it makes it really bad. When we only, just have a little bad thing, it's okay, because that adds the spice to life. But when we throw ourselves into the healthy, spiritual health, God will draw people into your life that aren't so spiritually healthy, and you can just be their friend. You don't need to preach at them. You just be their friend. They will ask you, I'm struggling here. People want to share. I'm telling you, we are post-pandemic, disconnected island dwellers. And they want to come back to the mainland. They want to join up. That's why I want to have fireworks together. Just to join up and hang out. Get off our islands. It will take some effort. It will take some energy. But we're off church Sunday morning, sleep in. I probably get to sleep all the way to, I'm thinking 6:15. It'll be like, wow, this is great. Sleeping in, it's like a day off. But wouldn't it be fun to just come and hang out and just do things? Which is like nothing. But just love each other. And allow, bring husbands and wives and girlfriends, but don't bring the wives and the girlfriends. That could be difficult. But bring friends and neighbors and just hang out. And we'll just hang out. Just church people having fun together without being weird. Loving each other. Can we hand out the communion, please? Understanding our character traits are vital. That's how we grow up in all things. You can't grow up if you don't know who you are. You can't grow up if you don't know how you were made. I saw someone this morning. Breaks my heart too. I didn't know what to say. An individual who I've known over the years being downtown. He was homeless and a mess. Worked things out. Got a place. And this morning he's walking with his backpack and his bag. He's homeless again. He was here Thursday night, high as a kite. It's heartbreaking. What do you do? I just greeted him, gave him a smile, said it was nice to see him. He walked a couple steps to the door of the church, kind of stood there, and walked away like this, broken. I was so sad. Didn't know what to do. Still don't know what to do. Other than, next time I see him, again, engage him, smile, and just keep asking, Lord, draw him to you, draw him to you. If you want to use me, great, but just draw him to you. He needs to be in rehab. There's really, it's unquestionable. I want to grow up and know how to do that. I'm not there. But that character that's there, that character that's being developed, the old man that it has less and less hold, and this character of Christ that grows up in each and every one of us. I remind you, character are features and traits that form your individual nature. Features and traits. Gifts of God, what you're doing with them. Y'all got gifts of God. You might not be using them. That would be you, not doing anything with them. But you have gifts of God. And I believe in here everyone is working their gifts of God to a certain degree. There's no question in my life, my mind, my heart. I see it in you. I've known you guys for years. I'm fortunate to be able to do this. I'm very, very happy to have this journey and have such wonderful people around me. You have no idea what it means. You guys are helping me become a better character. You're helping my traits to develop. You really are. I spent 15 months talking, well, hello there out there. I hope somebody's watching. You know, it's so weird. I love having the interaction and the people and the smiles and the children. I just love it. And I'm believing every day I come in here, I pray, Lord, I'll bring somebody new today. Just bring somebody that this wonderful group of people can allow their true character out. Because, man, you guys, when you get new people around you, your true character comes out. It's beautiful to see. And it encourages me. That's what communion is about, right? Remembering the character that's in us. Christ, who went to the cross, gave his life so you and I could have this wonderful existence. Body broken. We remember today this broken body. And I often say, Lord, I don't understand it. I'm so thankful. I pray today that his broken body would heal our hearts, our minds. And right now I'm praying for Nikki. Christ, that you would do your work. And he would receive it. Let us partake. Is the blood of Christ. We remember his blood that was poured out. Do this in remembrance of me. He gave his life so we could have life. He exchanged it with the righteousness, his right standing with the Father. Whatever we need, we can go to the Father and ask. We have access to God the Father, to our Savior Jesus Christ. You know, it used to be access to God was in this little tent that they carried around. And they had an inner part, the Holy of Holies, that they could only visit once a day. That sacrifice has been paid. And it's up to us to say, you know what, Lord, I receive what you've done for me. I receive what you've done for my brother, my sister, my husband, my wife, my aunt, my uncle, my parents that need to know you. Father, I receive that, and I pray that the character that you are giving me to be more like Christ will continue to grow in this aspect. That I can trust you, and I can live a life that shows that I trust in the completed work of Christ. Let us partake. Thank you, Lord, for this day. I pray earnestly for each and every one that your heart would be richer than ever before. I pray this in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Have a good day.